Hiding among penguins. Nazis in Antarctica. Welcome to Truth Duel Official. In this video, you'll learn about the Nazis' secret expeditions to Antarctica and the extraterrestrial visitors they may have met there. You'll want to stick around till the end of this video to learn how to avoid aliens using you as a decoy, which may have happened to the Nazis. But first, I am your host, Misinformation. If you like this channel, make sure to subscribe to receive more great conspiracy theories, misinformation analysis, and other sentiments and ramblings that please and amuse us. And become a truth dueler, because only you can slay misinformation at its source. Get our app on truthduel.com. Everybody knows that Nazis don't like to be confined to Germany. They want plenty of Lebensraum to run around in and do evil things. So it would be foolish to believe that the Nazis were only content with conquering Europe. They definitely had their sights set on much more exotic and colder continents, such as Antarctica. But what exactly is the appeal of Antarctica? It's cold, there's some penguins, and it'll probably melt by the next century. Unless, of course, you're looking to hide in a remote place where nobody will come looking for you and your alien allies.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
One group that is interested in the topic of extraterrestrial and Nazi collaboration is the Farsight Institute. The Farsight Institute is a group founded in 1995 that dedicates itself to the study of the odd, the unexplained, and the conspiratorial. One of their researchers, Dr. Courtney Brown, has done some research on the topic of Nazis in Antarctica and is a considerably controversial figure. Dr. Brown has worked at Emory University and has drawn a lot of criticism surrounding some of his claims, such as saying that Adam and Eve did genetic engineering, or that certain Star Trek episodes were written by aliens. On the other hand, supporters have defended Dr. Brown, stating that controversial ideas do not necessitate censorship. Leave your thoughts on Dr. Brown and his academic freedom in the comments below to please and amuse us. All of this begs the question, why do people such as Dr. Brown and others believe that there are Nazis in Antarctica? What evidence is so convincing? Well, according to Dr. Brown from the Farsight Institute, there were 2 videos shown to research participants. The participants were not given any information about the study so that they couldn't form biases prior to viewing the videos. The first video allegedly showed the most advanced Nazi base in Antarctica at the end of World War II. In it, viewers described watching buildings on top of the frozen Antarctic plains. Around these buildings were saucer-shaped craft that viewers said would land around the buildings or even enter them. While the viewers never explicitly used the word Antarctica or Nazis to describe the situation, they did describe how the humans and extraterrestrials interacted, stating, quote, "The attitude of the humans was a mix of fear, anger, and arrogance. The extraterrestrials had an attitude of superiority, dominance, and boredom in working with humans." End quote.
From looking from a far view of below, the ground is like under this whole cold, snowy place. I'm seeing these long hallways. Looks like they take you all around this area. And it's very long and very dull lights in here.
The second video allegedly shows aerial battles happening over a snowy tundra. Viewers describe seeing flying saucers both coming down from space and coming up from the sea. Both extraterrestrials and human beings piloted these saucers. On the other side of the battle was the conventional machinery you would expect from World War II. Fighter jets, large aircraft carriers, and ground forces. The viewers said that while the human forces appeared confident at first, the mysterious flying saucers quickly overwhelmed them.
This guy's not a human. the top commander for their side of things, he is not a human at all. He is a dinosaur face looking guy, very fierce and looking face. So let's draw some teeth. And he's huge. Like, he's just another one of those really, really big reptile people. Like, he's a huge, huge reptile person. So these are the top commanders. This is a war, this is a battle, and it's between this guy and that guy. And these are their forces. Airplane-looking things, and boomerang-looking things, and uniform, immaculate living room discs. Best way I can describe these things. And these guys are way faster.
But who are these extraterrestrials piloting the flying saucers? And what do they want with Nazis in Antarctica? Interestingly, the descriptions of who these extraterrestrials are seem inconsistent. Some viewers describe the leader of the flying saucers as a tall, powerful reptilian general. Dr. Brown commented on this, saying, quote, "The Reptilians had no long-term interest in the Nazis. They were a means to an end. The Reptilians didn't want the Nazis to control anything. They just wanted the US military and political leadership to be so frightened that they would agree to absolutely anything in order to get some of that advanced technology." End quote. This seems to be consistent with reports that the extraterrestrials left some American soldiers alive, possibly so that they could return to the United States and report what they saw. This also seems to align with what American military personnel, such as Navy Admiral Richard Byrd, said in their reports. Admiral Byrd, quote, "It was a bitter reality that in case of a new war, the continental United States would be attacked by flying objects, which could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds." End quote. Others say that the extraterrestrials aren't even reptilian. Instead, they could possibly be a group known as the Pleiadians. These are extraterrestrials that come from the star cluster Pleiades, and they're described as incredibly tall with blonde hair and blue eyes. Exactly Hitler's type. However, a woman named Elena Danan, who claims that she can contact these aliens, says that they regret their interactions with the Nazis and that they are generally, quote, "good people who want the best for humanity. All of humanity." End quote. If that little teaser about these mysterious aliens that possibly look like Pamela Anderson has made you curious, check out our video, Top 5 Alien Channelers Not Probing Uranus. Eccentric conspiracy theories for more Pamela Anderson aliens. Enough about aliens misinformation, you say. This is all misinformation. What's the true history of Nazis in Antarctica? All right, it's time to get our heads out of the stars and back down to Earth. It all began with whales. Germany had been sending ships to Antarctica since before the Nazis ever gained power. However, in 1938, the Nazi Navy was looking for whales around the South Pole so that they could collect whale oil. This oil was one of Germany's biggest imports, mainly for soap and margarine. And the Nazis didn't want to rely on foreign imports while they waged war. The Nazis may have been evil, but they refused to be stinky. They staked claim to an area of Antarctica that they called New Swabia. Unfortunately for them, New Swabia was old land. The territory had already been claimed by Norway. Not wanting to open a third front for the war, the Germans abandoned New Swabia to the Norwegians and allegedly left Antarctica. Fast forward to 1946, and the American military also has its eye on Antarctica. Because if there's anything the American military loves, it's oil. Operation High Jump was organized by Rear Admiral Richard H. Byrd, and its goal was to establish a research base near the South Pole. They had a variety of goals, such as training soldiers in an icy environment establishing American dominance over Antarctica, and simply gathering scientific data about the continent. It was during this expedition when Admiral Byrd gave his report to the Pentagon, outlining his fears that Antarctica could be used as a strategic military base to harm the United States. He stressed that the world was entering a new era where planes and other unidentified flying objects could be used to quickly close any natural barriers that had previously been shielding the United States from foreign attacks. Admiral Byrd said, quote, "The fantastic speed with which the world is shrinking is one of the most important lessons learned during my recent Antarctic exploration." End quote. But who were these threats that Admiral Byrd was worried about? Were they just Nazis or someone else? Could he have been talking about extraterrestrials? Or perhaps something much more terrifying? There are rumors of an evil power stalking the frozen tundra. They're known by an ancient eldritch name, the British. Misinformation wishes you well and reminds you that Queen Elizabeth isn't dead. She's just frozen in Antarctica. P.S. I'm not just joking about the British. They also had plenty of expeditions to Antarctica during World War II, including Operation Tabarin. Until next time, make sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and become a truth doula, or Queen Lizzie will rise from the dead and freeze you.